Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Today's the Day Changemakers Podcast. I am Jody Grunwald. This is a special Today is the Day Changemakers Podcast episode as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month. In November 2021, I was honored to have been chosen as the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce Athena Leadership Award recipient. The Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce is the only chamber in New Jersey that can provide this award. Other states provide the award through chambers of commerce, women's organizations, and universities. My guests include the executive director of the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce, Terese, Rölke, Athena Leadership Committee co-chairs, Ivy Jacot and Joanne Colella, and the 2021 Young Athena Leadership Award recipient, Christina Henderson. We discuss the importance of honoring women who contribute their time and energy to improve the quality of life for others. Listen in to hear how these women are working to support and lift others up every chance they get. If you know someone in New Jersey who meets the criteria, go to monmouthregionalchamber.com and nominate them for an Athena Leadership Award by June 30th. On March 24th, Today is the Day is launching the inaugural International Changemakers Forum titled Challenge Yourself, Disrupt the Status Quo. Learn more about how you can connect with incredible everyday changemakers, CNN heroes, authors, TEDx speakers, entrepreneurs, and more. To purchase tickets and to learn more, go to todayisthedayliveit.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Today is the Day Changemakers YouTube channel, stream this podcast on all streaming sites, comment, like, and share, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Today is the Day Live It. The views expressed by all Today is the Day Changemakers podcast guests are their own. Their appearance on the Today is the Day Changemakers podcast does not imply any endorsement of them or any entity that they represent. Have a great week, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Today's the Day Changemakers podcast. I am Jody Grunwald, and every week I always say this, I get to interview the incredible people who are doing change making in their corner of the world and beyond. And today I have 4 of them with me, which is so incredible. So hi, ladies. How are you all doing?
Hello.
Hi. Doing well. How are you, Jody?
I'm good. I feel like we're having a Zoom party today. This is awesome.
Yes.
So for those who listen right away, it is right now Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month. But for those of you who will listen later, that you're going to hear that this is somewhat the topic, but there's a lot more that we're going to talk about. So let me introduce actually my guest today. So I have Ivy Jacot. Hi, Ivy. How are you?
How are you? Nice to see you on a Wednesday.
Yes, nice to see you too. And Joanne Colella. Hello, Joanne. Back again.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Terese Rölke. Hi, Terese.
Hi, great to be here. I'm so glad we could do this.
Me too. And last but not least, Christina Henderson, who was also on the podcast previously.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me back on, Jody.
I am so happy to. So I'm going to read a little bit about each one of you, and then we're going to get into a great conversation. So I'm going to start with Ivy. Ivy is an almost lifelong resident of Monmouth County because you were formerly born in Brooklyn, which is new to me because I was as well. Ivy has worked and resided in Monmouth as a realtor for almost 40 years. HUD counselor, foreclosure defense specialist, and now in the title industry. Her love for community led her to the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce, taking on the role of chair of the Athena Awards Luncheon for the past 5 years, an award program celebrating outstanding leaders who recognize the value of women and their full leadership potential. Ivy, 40 years as a realtor. You were 10, right? When you started that?
I think I was 7, but I'm not sure. I have to double check.
I thought that too, because I read that. I was like, what?
Yes.
Terese has always been a big networker, connecting people and collaborating with them. She joined the chamber in March of 2013. After volunteering for 2 years, she was appointed to the chamber's board of directors. And then in December of 2019, she was hired as the executive director. It is our vision and drive to serve our members and our community as a resource leader. We will continue to focus on business education, business connections, and providing the maximum value to our members. That is a direct quote from Terese. So we'll hear more from you in a moment as well. I'm so glad to have you on.
Thank you so
And
much.
then we have Joanne, who has been on with me a few times, actually, not even just once, has a long career in advertising, marketing, journalism, and publishing, and is now the owner of Colella Communications, providing professional copywriting, editing, proofreading, and marketing services to businesses, organizations, and individuals. Recently relocated from the East Coast to beautiful Arizona, she remains an active board member of the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce in New Jersey and co-chair of the Chamber's Marketing Committee and Athena Leadership Awards Committee. Welcome, Joanne, back again. I love it. And then Kristina is the Chief Executive Officer and co-owner of Henderson Promos in Red Bank, New Jersey. Kristina was crowned 2020 Mrs. New Jersey in the Mrs. New Jersey pageant on August 8th, 2020. Beyond her roles as CEO and Mrs. New Jersey, Henderson, Kristina, is fully immersed in the New Jersey nonprofit and business communities. She was named 2021 Business 50 Women in Business by NJ Biz. She received the 2021 Athena Young Professional Award, the 2021 Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore's Phenomenal Women Under 40, and the 2021 Monmouth and Ocean Counties Development Council's Community Service Silver Gull Award. Wow, Kristina, we could go on.
Thank you.
Yeah. And whenever I say young, that you're the young Athena, it's like that, because for those who don't know, I was awarded, and I'm very, very grateful and honored to be the 2021 Athena Award winner. And I'm trying to come up with a word besides veteran. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're the young. So what do I call myself? I'm not really sure. Yeah, we'll have to come up with something there, Ivy. I'm not
Jody,
sure.
younger professional.
There you go. I like it. I the only thing I can come up with is veteran, so I'm hoping we can change that. We'll see what happens. So as I was saying, it is Women's History Month, and Athena is really all about leadership. I know that there's a focus on women, although men can win the award as well, and we'll get into what that award means. But I thought we could go around a little bit and talk about Women's History Month and just what it means to you. I have to say, before I ask that question, I have really noticed a true uptick in people even wishing you a happy International Women's Day, right? I see some of you shaking heads. So things are switching and changing. So when you talk about that and you answer the question, also talk about why you think there's a little bit more of this attention being paid to it. And I'd like to start with Terese first.
Yeah, Women's History Month is amazing that we actually get to recognize for one full month the strong women in our history who really opened the gateway for us to follow. We're all strong women in our own right. And I love the fact that we're here doing this to celebrate strong women in general. And I really do feel that things are changing because of it in a very, very positive way.
Great, thank you. Ivy?
Sure. So the reason I'm starting to think that Women's History Month has become so important is just because of everything that's going on around us and the recognition of almost every area of life now. And I think that it's long overdue. And I must say that I do work at a company, All Ahead Title, in which it is run by a man. He owns it, Todd. However, there's about 90% of strong female hormones in there, maybe more. And yes, was it Monday? National Women's, the actual day? Was it Monday? Yesterday. Okay, it was yesterday. Today. Whatever, I think it was yesterday. Our emails all day long of everybody wishing everybody. I've never seen anything like that before. And the leader of our company, Todd, wishing all of us a very happy National Women's Day, month, whatever the title is. And I think it's important. I think it's really important. And again, like Jody said, we'll talk more about that. But that's why I think that we're seeing more and more of it.
Yeah, I agree totally. Kristina?
Yeah, so like was said, it's a day where we can look back and celebrate the amazing accomplishments of women in our history, right? That's kind of amazing to take that time out to think about what women have done to really make a difference. But it's also a time, I would say, where we can really think about supporting our local women-owned businesses, supporting our fellow women, and, take a step back and maybe think about supporting each other more, and I did love seeing the shout outs on social media yesterday, and women really thinking about this holiday. I agree, like now more than I think ever, I'm seeing more things on social media, and I got emails as well, just women just reaching out, and I really love that. I love to see that.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Joanne?
I've been noticing the same thing that all the rest of you have. It was my news feed on all the social media yesterday, LinkedIn, Facebook, email, everywhere was just exploding with acknowledgements of Women's Day, International Women's Day. The one quote that I saw that I thought was really interesting, and I guess I'm paraphrasing it, was that some people think International Women's Day and Women's Month is all about creating and promoting strong women, when the fact is strong women have always existed. The idea is to change the world's perception of strong women. So it's not as if they weren't always there. They're just more in the spotlight. And I also like seeing the mix of acknowledgements, not just women succeeding in business, being powerful, being professionally successful, doing great things in the public eye, but the equal mix of acknowledgements that I was seeing to women behind the scenes, the women, women in everyone's lives. And I was seeing a lot of it from men as well, who said they were raised by strong women. They have daughters who are strong women. People thanking their female relatives and circles of friends for all the support that they've given to them through life. So it's really, the idea is to recognize every role that a woman holds.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
it's also acceptable now to be a strong woman. It's remember how long I've been around. Strong women weren't always looked as a positive thing, and now it's an admirable thing. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well. And you need a woman. Every man needs a woman. So
That's right.
or what do they say? Behind every successful man is a woman. So
I think every
Yes.
woman needs a woman too.
that's
Yes.
true. Listen,
Totally agree.
that's another topic for another
Yeah.
podcast.
No, but it's true. We all need friends. That's the thing, is I know that I have looked at a lot of women who have come before me that I learned from. I learned from all of you. You know what I mean? That's the one thing, is that there was, and unfortunately in some cases there still is, this competition amongst women, right? You all have seen it. I know I can't be speaking out of turn here. I mean, we've seen it. I know I've seen it in different businesses I've worked at, that unfortunately you see somebody else being successful, same age maybe, same background, and they're a little bit further ahead, and there's this jealousy. And instead of trying to emulate or befriend that person, you instead don't like that person. You don't even know that that's really happening, because you're not really being honest with yourself. And I think what you said is really important. Every woman does need a woman, because I want somebody that's setting that example, whether they're younger or older. Like, I look at all the work too that Kristina's done, and I'm like, wow, I wish I was 20 years younger and knew what she knows, because she's gone around and done things I want to do now, and I'm 20 years behind her. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the key, is that we look for and find those, and not be jealous of them, but actually befriend them and learn from them and tell them, hey, I love what you're doing.
Yes.
And I appreciate you. And I don't know that we do that enough. I'd love to throw that out to hear your.
I love that. And I agree with that. I feel like it's not done enough, even though we did see a lot more action on social media for International Women's Day. I feel like it's really not, there's not a genuine support of women supporting women that I'm seeing a lot on social media. For example, I'm not really seeing shout outs for supporting this woman in business, or supporting, different things women are doing, or in the nonprofit world. I'm not seeing that a lot. And that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. And I feel like we really have to think about that. And women really have to think about really genuinely supporting each other and caring about one another, because it's important to lift other people up as you rise, and be genuine about it, for sure.
You said such an important word there that I say a lot on this podcast, and those who have been on know this too. The authenticity, being genuine, but also, if we would stop judging, people could be more vulnerable. And when they're more vulnerable, that's how we connect better. And that's what the problem is. We've been taught to, strong woman, you've got to be strong. You've got, you cannot show that there's this vulnerability, but that's what actually bonds us. And then we can be stronger together. And I don't see that a lot. Anybody else like to comment on what we're talking about as well?
I have to say, I find it to be a very different story within the chamber, because we are there supporting each other, locking arms, supporting women in business. And obviously we're supporting all businesses, but I find that we really do connect to each other and help each other in ways that, really go beyond expectations,
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so great. And you're leading the way with that. And that's what a feeling of accomplishment that has to be, knowing that you're making that change and helping those people do that.
Thank you.
So kudos to you.
I'm not doing it alone.
We never do anything alone. We never do it.
Lots of people are there supporting it and actually amplifying it. So
Joanne, Ivy, any comment on this topic?
The truth is that that's really could lead perfectly segued into Athena, because it is a program that recognizes women that not only are successful in business, it's three components to being nominated, and successful in business is one of them. And every application we get has that. So that's the easy part. It's the giving back to the community. It's the mentoring women to their fullest leadership potential. Those kind of things that are so important in developing the community of strong women leaders. And that's why this particular award through the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce, the only chamber licensed in the state of New Jersey to actually present this award, is such an honor. And it's such a privilege and honor to work on that committee. And that is what our chamber does. And that's a fabulous thing. So that's, Joanne, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to have her add on that, because I want to get back to the Athena Award and start and really talk more about that.
No, I agree. I mean, there's no better time for a program like this, and to be promoting a program like this. I agree with what Terese says about the mutual support that exists within the chamber, and I think it spills over into the enthusiasm for the Athena program, and we're hoping to make it spill over even more and increase awareness about it. The fact that this is an international award, it's not just some little regional thing that the chamber does. This is part of a worldwide program that has been around for decades. As a matter of fact, I even did a little research this morning, and unfortunately I did not find anything. I was wondering if there has been a Ukrainian woman who has won the Athena Award. And I did not find one yet. I admit I only devoted a few minutes to being able to research it before we started this call. But I'd be very interested to see if we could get the names of some women, in Eastern Europe who right now are being impacted in such a momentous, horrible way of what's going on in the world. But this is, that's something else that's part of this international movement. There are women right now that are outside of our little circle here in the United States that are facing unimaginable things, and those are truly strong women that need to be acknowledged and made aware of.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, and thank you so much, Joanne. That is really important, and I think that with Kristina and I being chosen for this award, it lends an opportunity for us to do whatever we can to reach out. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to find them at this stage of the game, but in any way, if you see anything, please let us know. I'm sure Kristina and I would be more than willing to send or do or collect or whatever we can for these women. That is really important.
Yeah.
That we support each other, without a doubt. And I thank you for bringing that up. On March 24th, today is the day is launching the inaugural Challenge Yourself, Disrupt the Status Quo International Virtual Changemakers Forum. This unprecedented event provides attendees with the opportunity to personally connect with fellow everyday changemakers, CNN heroes, TEDx speakers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, authors, and more. The event's keynote speaker is known as the Global Ambassador for Changemakers, Henry DeCio Jr. Your ticket purchase matters, as 20% of the proceeds will go to the Applaud Our Kids Foundation. Thank you to Investors Bank, Catalyst for Change sponsor, Create Change, Disrupt the Status Quo, Ignite Your Spark breakout session sponsor, Pam 10. Scholarship sponsor, New Jersey Business and Industry Association. Special mention to all the Inspire Change sponsors. Go to todayisthedayliveit.com. I think everybody's probably wondering, the listeners, okay, so tell me, what is this Athena Award about? It is a phenomenal opportunity. It's a little work to get involved and fill out an application, but worth it. I think that's the most important thing. We just talked about why this type of award is important, because it brings together a sisterhood of females, and I know that their men can win it as well. It brings together people who can support each other in the long run. It doesn't have to be in the short run. So Terese, I'm going to let you share here what the Athena Award is.
I absolutely love the fact that the Chamber has been supporting this award program for 36 consecutive years. And I can say consecutive thanks to Ivy, because during COVID, Ivy said, we cannot skip this year. We have to have a program. And she went and prepared it to be virtual. And I am so proud of her for doing it. I'm honored to work with her on this incredible awards program. And thank you so much, Ivy, for letting me be able to say 36 consecutive years, because that's a big deal. So the program honors women who are giving back to their community in a big way, who outperform either in their jobs or in their businesses and bring a lot to the table there. And they have to also support other women and empower them. That is the key part of the whole thing. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you have to support and empower other women, which is what we're talking about here. So I am so excited that the Chamber has been doing this as long as it has, and that we are the only licensed organization in the state of New Jersey that has been doing it. And I am honored that Jody and Kristina are both recipients of the award, our latest recipients from 2021 last year, and that we are on this journey together this year. I really believe that we are going to together take this to the next level this year. And look at what we're doing right now.
That's right. Ivy, you want to add to that?
I have so much to add. So when I joined the Chamber, I put myself in a position to, with my hands, to go on as many committees as I could to find what I love and I was passionate about. And when I joined the Athena committee back when, and it was ongoing, as Terese said, and it was a little small luncheon. I never envisioned it as a little small luncheon, because anybody who knows me knows that I don't envision anything little or small. So I was raised by an Athena, and I didn't even know it. I had a mother who was not happy being at home back in the day when most women did stay home. So I had the only working mother on the block. And she worked in a man's business, which was real estate. And she started as a secretary, and she watched men make a lot of money. And she said, if they could do it, I could do it. And she did it brilliantly and successfully. And then said, well, if they can own offices, I can own offices. And the rest is history. So unfortunately, my mom did pass away relatively young. And to honor her, I have committed myself to Athena. I've never discussed this story before. It's the first time I'm ever sharing it. I was going to share it on my way out of Athena, but I wanted to share it today with you guys, because I really, or you gals, because I really believe in my heart of hearts that my visions and my dreams are coming true, and we are taking this to the next level. Right before COVID, we were breaking every record as far as luncheon attendance. We were up to 250, getting to 300. And the quality of our nominees were just phenomenal, and they just get better and better. And the only way to do that is to spread the word.
Mhm.
And the only way to spread the word is things like this, taking on Joanne, and working with Joanne, who spreads the word brilliantly, in which nobody else can match that. And I'm really excited about this year because I really feel that last year we were hesitant about having it in person, and we did it anyway. And it was, again, we only really allotted to have 75 people at a luncheon, and we broke 100, which was phenomenal for us. And we just feel like we're going to just keep breaking records, because it's not really, in my eyes, about who is the recipient of the award. The recipient of the award represents everybody nominated that year.
Yep.
And that's why I love that luncheon so much, because we actually, and Jody and Kristina, you can please chime in. We celebrate every nominee there. Everybody walks out of that room. And I mean, we have some incredible people that come to this luncheon, and we all walk out saying, oh my goodness, do we even do enough? We thought we did enough. And do we even still do enough? It's not feeling low. It's actually motivating you to do more. And that's, to me, what is my drive every day. There's not one day I don't think about Athena. One day I might not, but it hasn't been in years. So if anyone
I just
wants
want
to
to thank you. I just want to thank you for sharing something that you said you weren't going to share. People have a way of doing that on this podcast. For those who have been a part of the podcast before, they know, like, a lot of times people share things that they typically don't. And I'm glad that you felt comfortable. So thank you for that, for sharing with us and those who will be listening. But I also want to just mention one thing before I turn it over to Joanne, is that for those who are listening, this is not only, and I can't say this enough, this is not only for those females who are in Monmouth County. This is anywhere in the state of New Jersey, correct? I see everybody
Correct.
shaking their
Correct.
heads.
Correct, yes.
That is very important, because I don't think other people from other parts of the state are familiar with the program, and that is why it's so important for us to share that today. So if you are not in Monmouth County, it doesn't matter. We'll talk about how you can apply, but I want to go over to Joanne first.
Ivy's right. I never heard that perspective of hers before either. And actually, I think that's a really important point. Basically, every person out there has an Athena in their life. And that's really our mission in getting this word out, because people look at this and they may not think of themselves as someone worthy of an Athena nomination. And the process, you can not submit a nomination for yourself to apply. Or, we're trying to reach as many people as possible and encourage them to think about people that they know who have fulfilled these, I don't want to call it requirements, but these recommendations. Everyone knows someone who has had an impact and who's worthy of being nominated. And that harkens back to the quote I had heard about International Women's Day. It's not just successful, powerful business women. It's anyone who's made a difference in their community. And a common thread that I've seen with all of the nominees, like Ivy said, every nominee, whether they come away as an award recipient or not, is equally acknowledged and celebrated at this luncheon. And a common thread that I love seeing with all of the nominees is that they each have a nonprofit or a cause that's near and dear to their heart. And, so much of what I've done through the years has been writing about nonprofits, writing about tremendous volunteers in the community. And there's just so much out there. There's so much good that's being done and so much good that can be done. And I think that's an important facet of what we supply with this program and with this awards ceremony and the whole application process. This is yet another venue for women who are trying to do good in the world to get the word out about those causes and those organizations and how other people can get involved. So it really has a ripple effect. We're just a little pond here, and the women nominees that are dropped into it, they can have a ripple effect for, for months and years afterwards by showcasing their participation in Athena and why they became Athenas, what it was they were doing that made them worthy of that nomination, and help them to get other people on board with the good they're trying to do.
I think Athena does. It's also too. It's an opportunity for this connection in a celebration, in a way of celebration, because you're celebrating each other and the work that you've all done, and so you naturally just connect with people. And yes, down the road can work happen and dollars be made and all, but it's not about that. It's really about the work that you have done as an individual and what you bring to the table as a human. And so I think that when you had the reception and we went and you had people there that were from that won years prior, it was so nice to just talk to those people, right, Kristina? And meet them. Do you want to give a little perspective about that piece too?
Yeah, I mean, meeting these other women who are really out there, on a grand scale in our community, making a difference. And it's hard, it's part of the reason why I joined pageantry and why I meet with women-owned businesses and things like that, is because I look for like-minded women who I can become friends with and who share the same values and see the world similar to how I see it, right? And sometimes it's challenging to find, friends who view things similarly, right? So, I'm inspired by all the women who are nominated and who are recognized for their accomplishments throughout our great state, but also internationally. Like when I was up for the award, my friend Jan Hagashi from Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii for 2 years, and she reached out to me, and I've always admired Jan. She gives back on a grand scale in Hawaii, and she's really submersed in the community, and everybody knows Jan, and she's just an amazing, amazing woman. And she reached out to me. She says, "Did you know I'm an Athena?" And I was like, "What?" Like, I couldn't believe it. And she goes, I'm like, "Well, it makes sense, right?" Because she's so amazing. And she was so kind to me, and just to be in her company, and to know that she was given that award. And now I'm so grateful that, I received this award this year. Is such a great honor to be in her company and to be in all the women's company who have received the award and who have also been nominated, because it is, it's not an easy process, right? You go through the paper, you go through all this stuff, and to be recognized and for everything you've done is just such an honor. It truly is. And to be surrounded by women who are really, giving back and really genuinely supporting fellow women in our community and the nonprofit world as well is so important.
Mm-hmm. Terese, tell everybody how they apply and what the deadline is.
Excellent. So the application is on the Monmouth Regional Chamber website. It's www.monmouthregionalchamber.com. And then if you look on the main page, you'll see signature events, Athena, and that'll get you to the page where the applications are. So they can fill it out, and the deadline is June 30th. So as far away as June 30th seems, it's going to come quick.
Yes.
It truly is, because there's a process, and because this is, it's an international organization. There are things that are needed and things that need to be completed. So I tell everybody, start thinking about who that person is. If you think they deserve to be part of a much bigger, broader system of people who want to support them as they're growing, and they would be a great fit to support those who have already been there. This is a great opportunity. I can name 20 people off the top of my head that deserve this award of the state of New Jersey, minimum. I mean, I know there's so many more. So again, Monmouth Regional Chamber, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I love that it's the whole state of New Jersey. It's not just Monmouth County, it's the whole state. So it really gives a lot of women this opportunity to be recognized.
Yes, yes.
Terese, one more time, the website.
So the website is monmouthregionalchamber.com. And then you'll see the signature events, look for Athena, and on the Athena page, the application will be there.
Just want to add another thing. You might not know an Athena, or maybe somebody who's not ready to be nominated, or you might not want to get involved in that process, but you can also sponsor this event, because without sponsorship, we don't have a luncheon.
Right.
And we've had extremely generous companies and organizations keep us going year after year after year. And so when you do go to the Monmouth Regional Chamber of website, there is a spot where you can also sponsor, and that is part of an involvement to the program as well. So I just want to mention that.
And we put this, we recognize our sponsors on the website, and their logos go up with a link to their homepage, because we are obviously we want to help them with their support to us. They get the support back from us, and we want to send people to their website also. So
yeah, remember, you're sponsoring a much broader thing than just an event, right? Because this is about bringing women together. It's a movement, you know what I mean? And I think that's very important to realize that. But also, if you don't want to sponsor and you don't want to nominate, why not just attend? Because you'll get to meet these incredible people. Purchase a ticket. That helps too, right? So don't forget to do that.
And I love the fact that every year we have a special table called the goddess table. That is the table, the table of all our previous Athena recipients that can attend that day. And I really love recognizing them again for blazing the path for us to continue to do this today. And we still stay in touch with them, and we still get together with them virtually. As a matter of fact, at the end of the last Monday of Women's History Month, we do a virtual gathering during breakfast time at the end of the month. And we want to continue the relationship and to continue to connect with them, because, you know, they're Athenas for a reason, and we don't want to lose that.
Right. It's like a family. There are roots. There are roots of the tree. We want to keep every past recipient that wants to stay involved. We want them to have a place of involvement in this program, because that's what helps us grow the program and get our new nominees. And it's a great thing. It's a fabulous thing, actually. Some of my best friends now are past Athenas.
Yeah. And they're great mentors. They're great mentors.
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing too that I should mention is that, you know, whether it's virtually or in person, we're available. You know, previous Athenas, I'm sure, would love, including Kristina and I, to go out and speak at women's groups, to talk about leadership, to talk about helping women rise up, to talk about bringing a movement together, whatever the topic may be, women's empowerment. These are things that we love to go out and speak about. And you have a full group of people who have been there and have been vetted by an incredible international organization. So, you know, you use the chamber for that too, right, Terese? You know,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Two more quick questions.
I want to give a quick shout out. We were talking about sponsors. I have to give a shout out to BMW of Freehold, because they have been the diamond sponsor of this event for Ivy. I don't even know how many years. It's been such a long time.
As long as I've been doing it. And because of their generosity to this program and Bob Fleischman's love of the program, because he gets inspired every single luncheon, he's just blown away. We know we can plan for the next year. So I have eternal gratitude to Bob Fleischman and BMW of Freehold. They've been more than generous to allow us to continue this program.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they recognize all the nominees. Actually, we can say finalists, right? We're calling not nominees anymore at that point. We do a dinner recognition for all the finalists in their showroom, which is a special thing. And then I know that they also have a convertible where we take pictures. And I just love the fact that he offers that to us and supports us in such a big way. And allows our Athena finalists to be heard there, because everyone gets to talk about what they're passionate about. And that's where we really start to get to know our finalists, not just on paper, but in person, physically, through their voices. And I love that event as well. Yeah.
So did I.
Great event.
So awesome. So Athena, I think we've done a great job of explaining, but if you have any other questions, you can absolutely reach out to the chamber and Terese for more information.
Eli Manning, former New York Giants quarterback.
Leading a team, you learn pretty fast. You're only as good as the people who have your back. Lately, my goals are more focused on business, and having Investors Bank as my banking partner feels the same way. They have my back too. They're there for me with the resources and online tools I need for whatever success lies ahead. For what I do now and what I'll do next, I count on Investors Bank.
Visit investorsbank.com or stop by a branch. Member FDIC.
I do want to ask you, since we're talking, and this is Women's History Month, and it would be important for me to also kind of round this out with a couple of quick questions, 2 more questions for this podcast. What advice would you give to your younger self looking back on what you know now?
That's a good
Who
question.
wants to take that first?
I will. I always go first. That's what I learned in college. Go first and get it over with. So for me, what I would tell, if I was looking back, what I would tell myself, listen to your mommy. She knows best. And get involved as soon as you can. And don't be afraid. Never be afraid of your dreams. Whatever you vision, whatever you dream, you can make it come true. And I don't remember who was saying it before. It might have been you, Jody, but you know, we all need to be told that our dreams can come true. There are some people that do have some jealousy and the jealousy might come out in negativity. And as a younger person, the negativity hurts. Your skin is a little thinner and not as thick as when you get older. And that might get into your head. Don't let anything but positiveness be in your head, because in my 50s, I learned this. I wish I had it in my 20s, to be honest.
I'd like to jump in with that. I would, it's all about believing in yourself and, looking back on it, when I started in the promotional products industry, it's a male driven industry. And so I started dealing with male manufacturers, and in the beginning, they were very condescending to me. They were angry, they were, annoyed, and I had to deal with these personalities, and it was hard to find my ground at the beginning. And looking back on it, if I had that confidence in the beginning, I could have saved a lot of, stress and negativity that I had to deal with if I was just, I learned early on. So now, I don't let anyone push me around. And that's really important too. You can't let anyone push you around as a woman, working in a male industry. And I'm sure a lot of women do, and some women here do, and it's important not to let anyone push you around. And so looking back on it, I would just say, just be confident and know that you are strong and powerful, and you could do anything a man can do, and don't let anyone take advantage of you when you're first starting out.
I love what you both said, because I was same thing about the fear and the don't doubt yourself. The biggest thing, don't doubt yourself. Don't be shy in speaking out and believing in what you're passionate about or what you want to accomplish, because the only way to make it so is to put it out there and recognize that things will present themselves before you if you have your eyes open, right? And be confident and just be aware of things around you. Yeah.
Joanne?
Well, I think one thing I would tell my younger self would be to make sure you surround yourself with good people throughout your life.
Yes.
And good translates into different things. I mean, not just successful people, talented people, savvy people, but genuinely good-hearted people, people who are looking to do good things for the world around them, and to take away from them lessons that will help you find your own passion, your own gift. And when you figure that out for yourself, use it not just to make a living, but to make a life. Find, don't you just use it for your own personal advancement and career, but find a way to give it back and to pay it forward to the people that have been around you for so long, and make a difference with them as well.
We always say hindsight is 20/20, right? Because in 10 years, we may have something else we'll add because we're 10 years older and we learned something new. But I do feel like for most of the guests that I have on, a lot of it is about telling our younger selves about not being afraid. Like there's a lot of that, and also the surrounding of, because if you surround yourself with people who are like-minded, then your confidence goes up. So again, it still does go back to that not being afraid to just take the leaps or incremental steps to get ourselves closer to our goals. So I appreciate you all answering that. And that is the reason I asked that question, is because I want those who are out there to really understand this is the women who are making up Athena. These are the for Monmouth Regional Chamber. These are the people who you can connect with, who want to help. We serve because of where we've been and where we've come, and now we're together as a group trying to do the right thing to bring people together under the Athena name, but also just because we want to, because authentically we just want to. Last question, because I asked this question for every single guest in 2022. I promise, last one. But what is the footprint you're creating right now that you want to leave behind? And I know, Ivy, you kind of said a little bit about that. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, but what is the footprint you're creating right now that you want to leave behind?
My son. My son is my footprint. I know he's not a woman, but he is what I would tell my 20-year-old self. And he really is an amazing person. And I'm not because he's my son, but because he has all those characteristics that I look for within Athena, within Athena. So I feel like that is my footprint, to be honest, if I had to answer that right this second.
No problem. Yes, off the cuff. Terese?
I can jump on that too, because I also have an amazing son who's doing amazing selfless things. But not to repeat what Ivy said, I would also kindness. I live to be kind. I want to spread that to others, because if we're kind to each other, the world would be a better place. If we just respect and love each other and don't look at our differences, because we are going to be different, but yet, there's a lot that we have in common. You just have to respect the differences. We don't all have to agree, but be kind to each other and just learn to work together, and this world would be a much, much better place.
Yeah. Great. Kristina?
Love that. So I guess I would say, whenever I give business out, I always think local, I think women owned, right? Whether it's shopping for a new outfit, I think I want to support a family owned business, a boutique, or whether it's getting a cake for a party, I'm going to support a woman owned bakery. Getting a cup of coffee, I'll go to Coffee Corral instead of Starbucks, and I'll support a women owned business. So I constantly think of that. So if I could leave a footprint, it would be to inspire women to take action, and inspire not only women, but men too, to take action, think family owned, think local, and think women owned, because bring it back. Let's keep it in our community, and let's support. Let's not just say we'll support, but let's give more shout outs on social media. Let's go and let's support these businesses, because that's what's most important in our community, as well as supporting, of course, our nonprofits, right? So that would be the footprint that I'd like to leave, as well as my son. You guys both said son, and now I'm gonna have a son soon. So I'm so inspired. 7 months now, and so I can't wait to see him grow and see what he's going to accomplish.
Be an amazing mom too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I can't
And they
wait.
confirm you did a good job. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we all expect you to bring them to the Athena luncheon.
Yes.
We just
Yes.
Let them start now.
Exactly. Because what we didn't mention, and I do want to mention, is that we need to keep the men involved in the conversation.
Yes.
Or that this will never go where we want it to go, because they are a part of the population. So we
That
need
is
them.
true.
to understand why it's so important to continue to help women to rise to where we should have been way long ago, but we're getting there now. So, and just a quick little shout out, because I had this cup made by 4-Line Vinyl Designs, female owned, and she just started out. So today is the day new cup, and like Kristina said, we're shouting out female owned businesses. So I just wanted to give that shout out. I love supporting female businesses as well. And Joanne, please, the footprint you're leaving behind.
And well, my kids might watch this, so I have to mention them now. This is the disadvantage of going last. But well, I guess it plays into the footprint I'd want to have on them and what they've already seen me do. I mean, it's all about, what your wheelhouse is. And my wheelhouse is telling people stories, promoting businesses and organizations and individuals. So I think my footprint up until now, and what I hope it will continue to be, is raising awareness of other people's footprints. My business is all about telling stories of what other people are doing. And I think I do it well. I want to do it even better. I get incredibly inspired by the people that I meet, whether they're passionate about their business, their career, their nonprofit, whatever it is they do, their book. I hear their stories. They make me tear up. They make, whatever enthusiasm they exude, it makes it easier for me to put it into words on their behalf. And I have 3 grown kids who grew up being dragged all over the place with mom as I would go all over the community. When I was writing about all different things throughout New Jersey, and I would take them to events and activities and fundraisers and, all different things where I was writing about it, but I was also loving it. I was loving being surrounded by it and meeting all those people. And hopefully they got something out of that. And someday I hope they look back and they say, wow, that's what mom was doing all those years. And that's what she loved doing all those years.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You all have incredible footprints, and I know you're all incredible humans, and I'm just blessed to know all of you and grateful to be on this journey with you. So what I want to say too is Athena, the International, the award is the only organization that can give that out here in the state of New Jersey is the Monmouth Regional Chamber of Commerce. So no matter where you're located, if you want to help to lift a female up who's doing incredible work, you need to do that through this organization. Now, if you're listening from some other part of the world like Hawaii, there are organizations within those, because I know that we're downloaded in 40 countries so far. So with that being said, if you're in a different country, a different state even, you can find them. You can find the organization and find out how you lift up a female or someone who's incredible in your state or country through Athena, because it's international. But here in New Jersey, Terese, one more time, what is the website they're going to?
MonmouthRegionalChamber.com.
Okay.
The luncheon will be held on the first Friday of November, which
Yes.
is, I believe, the 4th.
Correct.
Am I right? The 4th.
Correct. Mhm.
At the Jumping Brook in Neptune, New Jersey. So we're excited about that. It's from registrations at 11:30 to we're out before 2. It's a phenomenal luncheon. So
Right.
ask for the day off if you're working for somebody else now, so you can have it off. If you're not, please join us. And we're looking for a record-breaking year. And it's just truly a great event. And definitely each state does it in their own way. Each chamber does it in their own way. So if you are in a different state or a different country, just reach out to the local chamber or reach out to Athena International, and they will connect you to who you need to contact.
That actually probably would be the easiest thing, because they know who's registered with them to do the award ceremony. So
Correct.
And I just want to say the Jumping Brook Country Club is where we had it last year, where you two were honored with the receiving of the award, and we love it there. Jumping Brook Country Club in Neptune. And I want to just give Ron a shout out and say thank you to Ron. Their staff is so accommodating, and the space is so beautiful. So we really
It
appreciate
really
it.
is, yeah.
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 It's
The
beautiful.
view is
We're,
he was amazing.
and we
Beautiful.
have room for 300, so don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Right.
That's right. Christina and I are kind of like charged with filling the room. So we're just letting everybody know. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Just kidding. But
portion
also
of it,
feel free
maybe.
to read. I'm sorry, say that again, Terese.
I think a portion of it, not the whole thing. We'll help.
But if you need anything from Christina and I to talk about what we've been through, because you want to hear about the experience of Athena, I'm very open to that too. I know Christina is winding down soon. Just going to be out on maternity leave, but please feel free to reach out to me. And then if she's out, I can always connect you down the road. Pam 10 is a leader in IT enterprise solutions and staffing. They are driven to transform their clients' business performances. They do this every day by providing their clients with the best services and products like BizLego, an online community platform, and Colella, a unique learning management system. They also transform the lives of women and children through their associated nonprofits, SheTech, which supports women in and joining the technology field, and Softkin, support organization for kids in need. Pam 10, technology for social good. Go to pam10.com for more information. Any last minute thoughts?
No, I just feel like this was a great opportunity to share what we talk about all year round. And I really appreciate, Jody, that you had us on today. I really do. And that you came up with the idea for our exposure. And Joanne's been giving us phenomenal exposure. We were even on Channel 12 New Jersey News briefly. So I'm really excited. Everywhere I go, everybody knows Christina and Jody. So that's great. I'm looking forward to Christina's baby. I cannot wait.
Thank you.
Jody's done on the baby front, but yeah, thank you.
And Terese has been my partner in crime for many years, and it's just been an incredible journey. And I'm just so looking forward to the future of this program.
Yes, and I want to thank from the bottom of my heart, both Ivy and Joanne for co-chairing the event this year. And I know it's with Jody, with you and Christina, like I said before, it is going to be a phenomenal event. And we're gonna do new and exciting things that we don't even know about yet.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, because I come up with way too many ideas, but that's okay.
It's all good.
I wanted to add something too. I think a unique tie-in that we have in this year, because Jody is our International Athena Leadership Award winner. She also is doing a big international event later this month, which is really a perfect marriage between her being and it was completely unintentional, that she was the recipient of this international award, and now several months later she is hosting an unprecedented virtual global forum that's all about change makers. And I'm involved with it, Christina's involved with it, a lot of familiar faces probably to people in the local area are involved, and people in countries all around the world. And it plays into this whole theme of people making a difference, changing the community, mentoring others. A good number of the participants certainly are women. So I think it's really a perfect platform for what an Athena spirited person can do.
Again,
Thank you.
Jody, mention the date and time of the event, please.
The date and time for the forum is Thursday, March 24th. The International Changemakers Forum is Thursday, March 24th. Super excited. I hope you'll all be able to attend. I know Christina and Joanne have no choice because they're on.
I'll be there.
I'll
be there all day.
What's the time, just so people can block it out on their calendar?
10:45 in the morning. We start with a global mission moment, and we end at 3:40. But it's all day, but it's quick, and it's going to be the most interactive Zoom experience, I hope, that anybody's ever had. So we will keep you very interested. Believe me, we know, because I have ADD. We need to keep people multitasking within the Zoom screen in order to make this happen. So
I just want to thank you, because I know that you have something on the chamber website with chamber members getting discounted tickets, I believe. We talked about that. And I'm going to take the day off so I can be there. Cause I was like, I can't, how am I going to do? I just have to take the day off.
You are so sweet. You are so kind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you to all of you. And let's not forget, applications for Athena are due June 30th. And you need to start working on them because it takes a little bit. Because again, you're vetting out people who are doing incredible work. So there's a committee, by the way, that we didn't mention that none of us know who is on this committee that this stuff goes to. Ivy is the secret card holder of that. So that whoever it goes to is like the secret force out there nobody knows
Top
about.
secret.
Yep. And they get to decide. So that's what's so incredible is that she finds people that they don't know the finalists.
That they don't know, right? So that committee is not selected until we have our finalists, because it's very important that the people that are it's done on a rubric, so they're scoring, so that they don't know you personally, and that way it's fair for every single finalist. And the scoring process, it is as fair can be. So it's very exciting, and we don't know who that committee will be yet because we don't know who our finalists are yet. So send in your application. Don't get overwhelmed by it. It's 3 sections. You can nominate yourself or somebody else can nominate you. Everything's up and running now. Our site is good to go. So please put those applications in.
Well, thank you to all of you for being part of this. I'm so glad we could do this finally and put this out during Women's History Month. I think it was just really important to do it in the month of March. For those who are listening, it's always important to celebrate women. It doesn't matter if it's March or any day or month of the year.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm going to thank you all again and say the mantra that I say at the end of every single podcast. Today is the day. You cannot go back to yesterday, and you do not yet own tomorrow. So what small or large step are you taking today to get yourself closer to your goals? Thank you again to Ivy, Joanne, Kristina, and Terese. I love talking to all of you. I appreciate you.
Same here.
Thank you,
so
Jody.
much.
We
Thank
appreciate
you
you
so
too.
much. Thank you for
Jody.
having me on.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.